with Hope Community right now, we're getting an entire organization up and going, a community-based organization going. So now we've combined two groups, Fair Hope Unite and Hope Community. These two groups have always been around. They've been around for about 5+ years. They've combined forces, got our tax ID number, and we've got a board. We've got our, articles of organization, all that type of stuff. And we're starting to raise money. A lot of what we do with Hope Community is perfect for grants. I mean, we're trying to educate. We're trying to preserve mainly the history in the area. And Sean's going to get mad at me because there's one more thing that we're supposed to do, and I can't remember it. So there's only 3 words I got to remember, and I got 2 out of the 3. So
okay,
that's
2
bad.
out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, but
You're on the board, right?
I might be on the board.
Okay, well then that's a problem.
That's a problem. But I have no idea how'd I get from taxes.
So what is the Hope Community? What are we doing?
Hope Community has the lease on the Anna T. Jeans property, and that property is at the end of it's the intersection of Section Street and Twin Beach on the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're going down Section towards Twin Beach and you see that 10, 11 acres on the right, and you think, why is nobody not doing anything with that? It's because the Board of Education owns it. And the Board of Education...
Now the building is still there?
The original building is still there.
Okay.
And what happened is Anna T. Jeans was a philanthropist from Philadelphia, a Quaker, and she had a trust fund. She was a trust fund baby from the late 1800s and early 1900s. And her mission, so to speak, was to make sure there was educators for black people in the South. And what she set up was she had a foundation that basically taught black people how to be teachers to teach the black population, the African American population. And there were a handful of schools across the South. One of those schools was here in Fairhope. That is the Anna T. Jeans School at the corner of Twin Beach and Section.
Mm-hmm.
And the foundation bought that property from a black family. I think it might have been 2 black families that owned it, but bought it from them back in what might have been 1920s, 1930s, somewhere around in there. Actually had the property across the street, and that's where the original school was. It burned, and then they moved it across the street, built it there. Now, during what happened is, so that was basically the 1st grade through 9th grade, and then 10th, 11th, and 12th. The 10th, 11th, and 12th are the high school for the black students was in Daphne. So if you made it through 9th grade and you wanted to keep going, you went to Daphne. And Miss Thelma Todd here in town, she's a great person to talk to and listen to. But she did that, and then she wound up going to Rutgers and Yale, wound up with a master's degree, and she worked for the Library of Congress for years before she moved back down here. So she is a fantastic source just to kind of listen to how all this was going on. Mm. But basically what forced the South to integrate the schools was the School Bus Act of like 1971. And because what happened is when the federal government told the South, you have to integrate, the South blocked and blocked and blocked and blocked. And all of our, the Southern tactics came to a head with, okay, we've done all this stuff, but how can they get to the schools? Well, that was and I got to be careful. It was not a force bust act, because as the white kid that went to an integrated school, the 7th and 8th grade that I went to was an all-black school in North Louisiana. And for my population, it was told to us, well, it's the Forced Bus School Act. It wasn't the Forced Bus School Act. It was the Bus School Act. But for us, we were told it was the Forced Bus. Anyway, so I got to catch myself every once in a while because I call it the Forced Bus, just because that's what it was told to me for years. But the School Bus Act of like 1971 was the final step. Once that happened, then the South had no other, arrows in their quill. They were done. They had to integrate schools, and that was in 1971. And I think in 1972, the Anna T. Jeans became the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, or the intermediate school for Fairhope. And it's interesting to hear stories of, the people that went through it and the people that didn't go through it, the people that went through it. I mean, Miss Todd's got a great story about not going through that, because she did she graduated before all that. And then listening to people that went through it and their stories of it. But that building is still here. And when I moved here in 99, it was the alternative school.
Right.
So, is that me?
That's you.
Yeah, that's me. Boy. So what happens is that property is too small for either Alabama standards or for Baldwin County standards to be
A school. Okay.
Something like it has in Alabama or in Baldwin County, it has to be 14 acres or bigger, and that is smaller. So Baldwin County's got to do something with it, and it's zoned as agriculture. That's what it was originally zoned for. And what Hope Community wants to do is take that original, because it's 4 rooms. That original building is only 4 rooms.
Wow.
Not AC, nothing. We finally got electricity run out to it, or got the electricity turned on. I think we're working on water and everything else. But what we want to do is get it set up so we have a commercial kitchen out there, and we have a teaching farm, very similar to the Jones teaching farm in Birmingham. In fact, we're bringing on that Jones farm up in Birmingham has been successful enough where they are offering consulting services. So part of our budget is to bring them in and consult us on, basically we don't want to reinvent the wheel.
No.
They're successful in what they're doing, so we want to bring them in and show us how.
So what does that mean?
We'd like it to...
Are you going to grow things on the...
Grow on the property.
Okay.
Also, where... I think in South Baldwin County, they've got stuff. The schools, mainly in Foley and Robertsdale, I believe, has stuff for 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. We're going to be targeting kids before that. Very similar to what we're doing with the Pelican's Nest. All the elementary schools go there. The kids come in and they learn about the bay and how important the bay and the Tensas Delta is to our area.
Right.
We're going to do that with the teaching farm and show these kids how to plant vegetables, how to grow them, how to process them, the whole thing. Because it's amazing the number of kids today don't know where their food comes from.
No, you're right. They have no idea.
No, it comes from the grocery store, and you throw it in the microwave, and you eat. Dinner's ready.
Right.
And, we look at, from a healthcare standpoint, you look at the number of how much smoking, how many problems smoking caused. 75% of the population smoked back in the 70s.
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, back in the day. And we didn't live till, I mean, we were talking about Jimmy Buffett earlier at 75. He wouldn't have made 75 if he was smoking. I mean, and that's the whole thing with Social Security. Social Security was kicking in at what, age 62?
Right. And it's
in 65.
Everybody's living a lot longer than that now, and it's killing it.
Better living through modern science. And a lot of that, though, is smoking. Going from 75% of the population down to 25% of the population has increased the lifespan of the average American.
Plus technology and medical.
Well,
and drugs.
Yeah, but smoking's one of the biggest issues. You take that out, and it's amazing how much longer we can live. Now, the next thing is, I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago, the average age of the Americans started dropping, or the life expectancy of Americans started to drop. And it's dropping not because we're smoking more or vaping. It's still only about 25% of the population, from what I understand. It's our food supply.
Right.
And what we're eating, what we're consuming. We're consuming an extremely processed diet, a diet high in chemicals that a lot of people can't pronounce, much less spell. And then we're also consuming extremely highly refined chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
And these aren't food products; they're chemicals. All the maltodextrin. I mean, walk down the chip aisle. Pretty much every potato chip in the grocery store has maltodextrin. And what is it? Why is it on there?
No idea.
Right. I can tell you what it caused. What we're seeing. We're seeing an increase in inflammatory diseases, arthritis, gout. I mean, we're seeing 20-year-olds with gout. Now,
wow.
Does maltodextrin directly related to gout? No one's doing those studies. But we know high fructose corn syrup does. And maltodextrin and high fructose corn syrup are very similar products. Are very similar structurally products. So, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to start teaching kids how to eat better. Mm-hmm. And, hey, you can grow vegetables in your backyard. We do live in an area where you can do that. So, if you're not doing it, your parents aren't doing it, we could lose generations of people. But the Jones Farm up in Birmingham, what we're going to do down here is start teaching those people how to do it. And then also, for those kids that are graduating and don't want to go to college, they're not college material, they want to get into the workforce. The service industry and the restaurant industry are big parts of living down here.
Oh, a big part.
And those industries are struggling to find people that can work. And it's fine. Who knows what it really is, but if we start showing the younger generation, you can have a lifestyle, you can support yourself and a family. Here's how. It's another avenue for them. Mm-hmm. And it's an industry that we love. I mean, we love going to restaurants, good food, the whole thing. So that's part of what Hope Community is doing right now. We've got that property. We're working on securing that for a lot longer. Right now, we've got a 2-year lease on it.
Oh, wow.
But we also have a property on Middle Street that is, I think it's 1.5 acres that we've already had it cleared, and then we'll start planning on it soon. I think I'm not part of that committee, so I'm really not sure on it. But I know the whole story on it is that's going to be part of what we can physically start doing and start showing people, hey, here we are, here's what we're doing. So a little blurb on Hope Community. Also, we meet once a month. We are getting, I think we've got, we don't have an executive director right now. We're trying to build up our funds to the point with grants that we have a steady income so that we can start the hiring process of an executive director. That executive director will be in charge of, a lot of funding type stuff. But also, we want the facilities to be self-funding. We want them, these people that want to get into the food industry, grandma's secret red sauce. Well, you're going to have a commercial kitchen, rent it out, process it, label it,
and let it roll.
Let it roll. You'll be able to sell grandma's secret red sauce in the pig or wherever.
Absolutely.
At the farmer's market.
I was wondering about that because if you said you had a commissary there,
commercial kitchen,
a commercial kitchen, you could rent that out to these food trucks. Because I don't know where they're at, and you don't know where their commissary is, but they're required to have one, from what I understand. It may be a revenue generating thing through that. I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's not 100% in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, nor mine. Nor mine.
I'm more of. They were very kind in bringing me on their board, mainly because I have done a lot of board work over my 20 plus years, as 30 years now, I guess, as a professional. And boards tend to bog down with stuff. Mm-hmm. So our board, we're setting it up so that it gives guidance to our committees, and the committees do all the work. The committees are very active, and just in the short time, we've got a matching contribution right now where if we can raise $20,000 in the month of May, we got a foundation that'll match it.
Oh wow! So how are y'all going about doing that?
Word of mouth, almost. I mean, we've got committees that are working on it real hard right now. I think they're pretty close to having that $20,000 raised, but check out Hope Community. Find us on Facebook, social media, all that stuff. And you can definitely pitch in a few bucks. They'd greatly appreciate it. But, and right now I know they have completed 3 grants proposals, and those are in. And again, it's stuff that it's kind of in our wheelhouse. So these groups want to fund organizations like Hope Community because of what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to come in and be a guest on here, all you got to do is call us or email us or contact us through YouTube and let us know. And then we'll also have in the descriptions below our web addresses on where our websites are.
Yeah,
that you can go through there and get in touch with us there. But easy to do. We'd love to talk to you. We are going to be the #1 lifestyle podcast on the Gulf Coast at some point. And
I think we're pretty close to that right now.
Well, I mean, Grandma told me that I was really good last week, so I think that
but she didn't subscribe.
She did not subscribe, but I will have to ask her again.